My name is Ali Behbehani, and I'm graduating today with my bachelor's degree in architectural engineering. Thank you. Ever since I was a child, I've always had this dream to study college somewhere in America. That's because America's reputation by far exceeds its geographical location. It extends to all parts of the world as this great land of opportunity. I had this mental image in my head of America as this greatly modernized country with skyscrapers everywhere. I mean, that's expected, at least from a perspective of an international who grew up watching Hollywood movies. And then I arrived at the Kansas City International Airport. I was shocked, I'm not gonna lie to you. It was the smallest airport I've ever landed in. And by the time I've reached Lawrence, this mental image I had was completely gone. However, as I spent more time living in Lawrence, I've actually realized that the reality is much better than what I had initially imagined. The atmosphere here at the University of Kansas just gives you a different vibe, a different feeling. I experienced this atmosphere in many instances. I saw it in game nights while on the way to Allen Fieldhouse, where the whole town was headed to cheer for the Jayhawks. I felt it in those sleepless nights spent in Anschutz or Spar studying for an exam, or when working on that project that I had procrastinated completing, and thus pulling an all-nighter became vital to finish it on time, or at least by the extension time that I was granted. There was this sense of unity here, where we all shared those common feelings. We celebrated together when our basketball team made it to the Final Four, studied together in the wee hours of finals week, grieved together when tragedy struck. It was then that I realized that this atmosphere existed because of one thing. It existed because we all, regardless of our backgrounds, our colors, races, and ideologies, decided to put aside our differences and focus on the one thing we all have in common. We all decided to unite under the mascot of the University of Kansas and define ourselves as Jayhawks. This sense of belonging was the outcome of the commitment and involvement that KU holds to the Lawrence community through its civic engagement and development programs regularly held by the university and open to the public. This commitment was also clearly noticeable here at KU, where the programs offered were designed around promoting this very concept of enhancing and benefiting the local community while still contributing to the global society. Sometimes this meant working on an engineering design for a project that is only a couple of blocks away from the class we're sitting in. It could also be utilizing those skills learned in class and applying them and incorporating them in KU's chapter of Engineers Without Borders and other KU chapters of engineering societies to provide help where it was needed the most. I experienced this sense of obligation to society that as an engineer is expected of me. And if you ask me, I believe that this is the most valuable lesson I have learned here in college. It is this idea that investment in people and education should be prioritized over investments in infrastructures and buildings, because those people will make up society that will act as infrastructure and foundation of healthy civic institutions, and thus build a better world for generations to come. As we move on to the next chapter of our lives, let's maintain this spirit that we have developed here at KU as active members of our society. We can engage in shaping tomorrow than being shaped by it in order to make a difference in the world we live in. After all, we're all Jayhawks, and legend has it that once a Jayhawk, always a Jayhawk. Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2019. Rock Chalk!